Hello everyone, welcome to another rendition of XGR, Xpound Gaming Radio. On today's, I'm joined by Anastasia Laserbeam.
Hello.
Rick the Hammer.
Hello.
And our special guest, Marcus Shadow.
What's up?
I am your host, Quiz, aka The Mole, and as usual, we go news, but we've shortened down the news. We've gone catch up with games we played this week, and we've shortened that down to one. And then it's the next three of our 2014 awards. Yeah.
Awards.
Who wants to take away with the news first?
Oh, don't everyone jump at once.
Yeah, fair enough, Rick.
All right. So, as will probably be mentioned a couple times, there was a Nintendo Direct earlier this morning, and one of the thing I was most excited that they showed there was that they had two new 3DS XL bundles. And like there was a Majora's Mask one, fair enough, looks kind of cool, sold out in 20 minutes, whatever, doesn't come with the game, $200. But they had a Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate one, and I didn't think they would do that. And I was like, that's awesome, and it comes with the game preloaded, yuck. And it's $230 instead of, so you still are paying for the game basically. It's like a brushed silver looking thing, has an icon on it, looks really cool, and I totally want to get it. And that one is a GameStop exclusive. I think the Majora's Mask one is, but I don't recall.
It is, but it's already sold out.
Okay.
I will say that's something that makes me giggle nowadays. They make a big deal about games coming preloaded, like it's a new thing in the last generation or two.
Yeah.
I remember on the Master System closing the little flap on it and playing Alex Kidd. I assume someone else remembers playing Alex Kidd that way, but it was built into the Master System. That had one preloaded.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind preloaded, but like with Nintendo systems, I don't like preloaded at all because it's tied to the system. And like if it was a download code, at least now with the newer Nintendo Network ID thing, you could re-download it. But now it's on the system, and it's like, oh, no. So I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to. So I said to my wife, I'm like, what I'm considering doing is still buying the game, and then when there's a sale on the system, assuming because it still hasn't sold out yet, and so I don't think it'll completely sell out. I don't think they'll make like a fuck ton of them or whatever.
Challenge.
But I'm like, maybe if they, but if they ever like have it on sale, maybe pick it up then. And even though it ended up being the same price, my wife's like, yeah, do that. I'm like, oh, I didn't even finish my sentence, but okay. She's like, no, you just Nintendo preload is crap. Get the cartridge, and I'm like. Good.
What do you do if when you finally do go to Walmart, there's a dude in front of you who purchases the last 5 and turns around and says, tell Stacy hi?
That would make me so mad.
Oh man, that would...
Nintendo needs to do away with the hardware locking thing, because that's completely archaic.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going to be doing heavily preloaded stuff. No, they need to do away with that shit. Get with the 21st century, Nintendo. Stop living in the past.
It's also worth noting for people, if you're listening, Marcus is on a tablet, that's why his audio sounds a little all over the place.
Sorry.
I know, I was just explaining it to them, because you're coming in loud and quiet and loud and quiet. It's fine. It's because it's a built-in microphone on tablet. It's cool. We were happy to have him here. But, continue, Ricky.
But yeah, so I just thought that was cool. And did you want me to mention the other part, or...
You might as well. It's still one news.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing I thought that was really cool that they showed was for Project Steam, because it was made by the people that made Fire Emblem. The Fire Emblem amiibos will unlock the character in the game, which I thought was really cool.
It's called Codename Steam.
Sorry,
Codename.
Project Steam is something else. Excuse me. Sorry, Codename. That's one thing I wanted the amiibos to do was unlock characters in games, because I think that would really push me over the edge to buy more than the one I have. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then, but it's like they were showing Marth, and I'm like, they realized Marth was, according to them, discontinued. I really hope that they plan to do something not retarded about it. and then they're like talking, and I'm just waiting, like, just let's see if they're dumb. And it's like, oh, and if you didn't get a Marth earlier this year, it's like, don't worry, we're gonna bring some more to North America. And I'm like, okay, good. You didn't want people to raise your corporate headquarters to the ground.
I totally hope more games do include the amiibos so you can unlock characters in them.
Yes.
And if so, if it ever comes to Wii U, I will totally buy Diablo 3 Ultimate Amiibo Edition.
That would be awesome. But yeah, so if you were an amiibo person and you were missing Marth and not one of the other Holy Trinity people, then yeah, you'll probably get another chance to get them, assuming scalpers don't beat everyone to it. But I think it's kind of cool that functionality is built in, and I don't know if I'd want Marth because he looked pretty cool in the game, but Ike looked pretty cool too, and he fights for his friends, so might as well.
I decided to keep my villager.
Nice.
I'm not gonna keep. I'm not gonna sell him back because it's only like 60 extra bucks, and I'd rather keep him and be like, hey, look, I got a villager and you don't. Fuck you.
So what's better than money to Stacy? Feeling better than other people.
Yeah.
For the wrong reason.
That's what laser do.
That's what makes me better.
Yeah, I've got a
That's what makes
link.
me feel like doing better.
Where's Marcus? I got a link. Yeah, there's me. Yeah, I got Samus. Where's Victor? He's got whichever one Victor's got. I forget which one Victor. Zelda. Victor's got Zelda, and there's PP. Yeah, fuck all of you guys. I got a villager.
Fuck you, I got a villager. Watch out for my neck.
Yeah,
Right,
like, I have a
basically.
princess. What?
I'd basically be like turning up at a comic book store, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I've got Kingdom Come. Yeah, I've got Watchmen." And she turns and goes, "Yeah, but fuck you, I got Jughead."
Mostly they have Garfield, but you know.
Pewbot only knows pain?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
No, that
Garfield.
Project Steam, I'd mentioned that in the past on XGR News because I did.
Codename Steam.
Sorry, codename Steam. It still looked awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope they would bring a Wii U version out. I'd totally buy that.
Yeah, when they talked about it a while ago, I'm like, that sounds kind of cool. But actually, seeing some footage of it, I'm like, yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. It reminds me of Valkyria Chronicles a little, and a couple other ones like that, where it's like still turn-based in strategy, but like you physically move your characters and can aim, and it looked pretty cool. So
nice. Over the pew.
Alright, my news is also about the amiibos and all the cool shit you can do with them in the games that aren't the ones that Richter mentioned. So, and Mario Party 10.
Thank you.
I totally remembered, I just didn't say it. So,
Don't worry, Mole, I validate myself.
If anyone's gonna validate you, you'll validate you more.
That's the saddest T-shirt ever. I totally validate myself.
So they have ones for Super Mario Brothers as well. Like the ones that have a new Peach, Mario, Luigi, and Toad or whatever. So you can get new stuff in there and those.
The new ones for Super Mario is Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi. I believe Toad wasn't made with the Smash Brother ones. He's new to this. He's a new amiibo.
He's like I'm talking about the red ones. Yeah, and I think they also have Bowser now.
Oh yeah, and Bowser, which I believe Bowser was also in the. Possibly also Rosalina, because they like to shoehorn her into everything.
Oh yeah, she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking those two would be. I feel for all the ones from Smash Brothers getting amiibo, and since Toad isn't in Smash Brothers, he'd be a new one by default.
Yeah.
I may be wrong.
No, he's yeah. It's like a new. Some of them have new designs, but Toad, yes, is not in.
Yeah.
What happens if you put him on Smash Brothers and the game's just like, I don't know who this is, and then just deletes your game?
No, it says kill now. Burn with kill with fire.
You've unlocked Shield.
True.
So also you can use Toad in the Toad Treasure Tracker for a little mini. It's not like a mini game, but you have this pixelated Toad you can find and get extra treasures for in your game for like extra loot, 1-ups, coins, like I think gems or whatever. So yeah, it's like a whole new hide and seek extra bonus in your mission of whatever you're already doing. So you click them, you get extra stuff who won't appear unless you get the Toad amiibo. Now they should have a Toadette amiibo. I mean, come on, you can't like shaft her and then like just have
technically, according to the voice of Nintendo, Toads are not gender specific. Therefore, Toadette is actually a slightly different subspecies, part of the Toad, and you can have a male Toadette and a female Toad. We just haven't seen any evidence of this.
Either way, this particular Toadette will totally get ignored, so it's not cool. You gotta help out with the Toadette. Yeah. So,
I was hoping that they'd make a female Robin for Fire Emblem, but no.
That would be cool. I like female Robin.
I think female Robin's better. That's the one I would want.
Yeah.
Did they not?
No, I think it's just male Robin.
Oh,
but you get female, you get Marth or Lucina.
Yeah. See, I thought with them making an amiibo of every character, I thought Robin would get 2.
Okay, as much as no one would buy male Wii Fit Trainer, I think they should have had a male one. They should have had a female villager, and they should have had both Robins. And
True.
Are those the only gender ones?
Yes.
Okay.
I would have totally bought all of those.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't necessarily want the villager, but I think it's fair to have one of each. I mean.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think that's the one that I use.
Yeah, maybe they'll do that. Since they discontinued Villager, they're like, oh, we'll bring out another Villager. This one's the girl one.
Where's my fucking... Where's my amiibo of Captain Almar? Where's my
wave
piggy
6?
amiibo?
I don't know.
It's not even in the latest wave.
No,
like,
wave, yeah, sorry.
It's not even planned or whatever, or in the works yet.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad.
Poor
people. There's like no Ganondorf, no.
There is a
female
Ganondorf.
Yeah.
I believe
did they announce one?
I only know that one because they listed him as one of the amiibos compatible with Hyrule Warriors.
Well, I know that there's gonna be one, but I don't think we've seen anything of him or know a release date or anything.
I wasn't sure if he was in like the last wave. I haven't paid attention to any waves, and so I was like, okay, I've got a Mario, I've got a Samus. Cool, you're doing a Sonic. The rest, It's like a shitload of Pokemon people. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said that the Pikachu one can work in the Pokemon puzzle, whatever. So.
Oh, Puzzle and Dragon or whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I call Pokemon
Puzzle. Is it that one or is it Pokemon Shuffle?
Oh.
They also announced that today.
Oh, I don't know. It's one of the puzzle ones. I didn't know there was multiple puzzle ones. So.
I was skipping ahead and I saw Mario Puzzle and Dragon. I'm like, oh, okay, this looks like Bejeweled. That looks kind of cool. And then I skipped a bit ahead and I saw like an Eevee head. And I'm like, wait, is this a different version of the game or is this in here? Oh, well, skip ahead because I was trying to see the Monster Hunter. I wanted to see what it looked like.
I don't know how the Puzzle and Dragon game works, but I know the Pokemon Shuffle is a game where you have to match up 3 Pokemon heads and then they disappear.
Okay.
Maybe it's that one then. 80% puzzle, that one. 30% other one.
Oh, maybe that was it, and I just thought they looked the same.
Did you just say 80% one, 30% another?
I know I said 71 and 30% the other. I
actually thought you did say 80, but I don't know.
It did.
I said 70.
It sounded like 80% one and then 30% the other. I'm like, wait, no, just
fine,
110%. Yeah,
she gives 110%, dude.
Yeah, see, I give
that's an expression. Doesn't mean it's real.
Yeah,
Are you gonna go out there and give 110%? No, because by very definition, we cannot give more than 100%.
Yes, I remember that.
I don't know, Cyborg on his little thing on his arm, he can give more than 100%.
I think I actually saw part of that episode.
Yeah, so like he can give more. He was like, you can't give more than 100% because your thing says max capacity. He was like, fuck my max capacity. I can fucking give more. And then he does, and his thing breaks because it goes after 100.
I'll be honest, I don't think he said fuck that. But
I said something similar
in
to
a
that.
show where they didn't want to call someone Deathstroke, I don't think he dropped the F-bomb, but I could be wrong.
I will
said
say, if
something
anyone
basically
knows,
to
it's
that.
Richter. I still say
Maybe he
Richter
said screw
Cyborg.
that. I don't know.
That would be
But,
awesome.
But
but
yeah,
your
that's
news,
my
Pio.
amiibo stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's my like
I
amiibo
thought-
news.
Oh, I thought you had other ones because they also announced more with Hyrule and crap.
Oh yeah, the Zelda. But I was gonna really mention it because like you kind of know that Link kind of works with all the Link-based ones. But yeah.
Okay. Then
He links with them.
Yeah.
Then my news, Nintendo Direct, so one news technically. They announced something peculiar for the 3DS. It's called the Nintendo Anime Channel. This will be a free eShop download and will allow access to a whole load of streamed content anime series that will be included are Pokemon, Kirby, and Inazuma 11,
Oh, nice.
with content to be added regularly. I'm like, okay, I can totally see why this is free because all of those are games. So you're totally doing it as an advertisement. That's genius. More power to you. But my other news, which was bigger, was Nintendo Direct broadcast revealed that Mario Party 10 will release on the 20th of March in both Europe and America. In addition to the standard Mario Party mode, the game features an all-new Amiibo mode, which brings Amiibo compatibility to the classic party-style game. Certain Amiibos, both the Super Smash Bros. Collection and the new Super Mario Collection, will work with the game. They are Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Bowser, and Rosalina, Donkey Kong, and Wario. Tapping an Amiibo to the gamepad lets players use that character as a game piece, as well as play on a game themed for that character. There will also be a limited quality of bundles, including a Mario Amiibo from the Super Mario Collection, plus a copy of the game.
Woo!
Nice.
I wish that game was online.
See, that's a reason for me to get a Luigi one.
Oh.
But yeah, did
You like
Marcus have
Luigi?
any
You
news?
want me to be Yoshi?
I like Luigi. I just
Fine,
I just like the
Yoshi.
idea of like that would make me get a Luigi one. I'm like, oh, poor Luigi.
Well, fine, I'd be Yoshi. Yoshi and Luigi are interchangeable for me in Mario Party, so.
And for Mario.
I'm gonna say fuck Luigi. He had his year. Now he's back to mid card. No. I'm kidding. That's not how that works, but that is how that totally works.
I'm surprised they mentioned that in Smash Brothers, because like I don't know if you remember in Brawl, but like Snake could call the Colonel and he would talk about his opponent, but apparently Pit does that. And if you do it for Luigi, one of the things is he's like, "Hey, he had his own year and everything, Lady Palutena," and I'm like, "Yay, they remembered it."
Yeah. I also remembered in Smash Bros. Brawl, I think they said his big like portal wormhole nexus thing he created as his final Smash was after years of living in Mario's shadow and always being second, he unleashes his hatred and it creates this, and I'm like, you've given him traumatic stress. What the hell have you done? But
He has a dark and deep backstory now.
yeah, but that was the end of my news. I believe Marcus didn't have any news because I think, he's AFK. It's possible. It's also worth noting he is at work at the moment. So I believe we're on to catch up.
Yay.
Kick us off, Pew.
Okay, I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition more. I'm at the part where I have to do the part with the ball, and I reset that, so I'm doing a lot better now, because before I started out with 30 court approval, but somehow when I started the new mission, the same part I'm at, I have like 93 court approval. So I don't know how that jumped all the way fuck up there. But now I have like all this time, because when you do the fighting missions, your court approval will drop because you're obviously not like chatting up all the nobles, you're doing the fighting. But since it's at 93 instead of starting at 30, I have a lot more time to do the mission.
Fair enough.
So this will work out a lot well. And also I'm gonna do it while watching a walkthrough on YouTube, so I don't fuck anything up and get freaking glitched out like I did last time. And I'm saving all of the right places so I don't have to miss anything.
That's bad that you have to do that.
It is bad that I have to do that, but I want to just get this stupid thing done, and I want my proper Dragon Age ending.
Okay, fair enough. Then I believe it's over to Rick.
All right. So this week, played some more Hyrule Warriors. A lot of it, actually. I don't remember where I left off last time I talked about it. Probably it was in the middle of Legend mode. But that was done a while ago. We recently got all the weapons from the adventure map. So there's the weapon icon that says complete when you're on that screen of the adventure mode. So we started doing the Master Quest map. That's a lot easier, simply because you leveled up from the previous map, and they're also idiots kind of, because for Volga, his level 3 weapon is actually fairly close to your start point, and I guess they figured the fight is hard or something. But 2-player, it wasn't really that hard, so we got his level 3 weapon, and his level 2 weapon was all the way up there. I still haven't unlocked his level 2 weapon, but they give me his level 2 weapon sometimes for the after mission reward, because like, oh, he has level 3, he must have level 2, and I'm like, sure, okay. But I was like, good programming there? But I don't know. And I have all of Wizrow's weapons. Wizrow is awesome. And I don't have any of the like 8-bit weapons though, because those are like higher level ones, and I'm like, I have their weapons, I'll get those later. I want to get the 3 people's.
There's more than one.
Yeah. If you buy the Master Quest pack, several people get it. Some of them are cool. Also, let me note this first. There's an awesome bug in the game. I think it's only on the Master Quest map, but people will show up with someone else's weapons. Like the first time. I was fighting, Sheik appeared, and I was fighting her, and I was like, wait a minute, she has the rapier. Oh, is that like a Zelda thing? Because it's, okay. But then my wife looked it up because I was talking about it, and like there are other ones. So, like some people have seen like Girahim with the ladder, which is the harp. And it seems to be it's not only with 8-bit weapons, excuse me. That I didn't notice at first with that, but it's like for some reason sometimes you fight someone like Zelda will have Impa one time had the sword and shield for me. She had Link's 8-bit sword. I've seen Zelda with the harp. I've seen a couple other ones, but it's just funny, and I'm like, why can't anyone have Rutos? Like I want to see like Ganondorf doing that swim or something. Like that'd just be hilarious. Ganondorf throwing water everywhere. I'd probably have to pause and just start laughing. But like, it's a really funny bug. I kind of don't want them to patch it because it's funny and it doesn't really hurt anything. But yeah, everyone has an 8-bit weapon. Link has the sword and shield, as you know. They give you one of those. Zelda, I believe, has the magical sword, the silver sword from the original. I believe it's Sheik gets the ladder because I think it looks kind of like the harp. Impa gets the boomerang because it's big and looks like that sword. Girahim gets an arrow. The first time I saw it, I was like, what the hell is that? And my wife thought it looked like something. And she's like, oh, it's the arrow. I'm like, oh, it's the arrow. Yeah, you're right. But it's pretty cool that there's the other 8-bit weapons. We don't have all those, but we have most of the map uncovered. Granted, there are a couple... just like the original adventure mode, there's definitely fights that are complete and utter assholes to you. Like there's one where it's like, where like one hit will put you in critical health or whatever. And so like if you're hit twice, you're dead, but like you can kill enemies super fast. There's a couple like that, but you can't use items is the caveat of the master of that map. And it's funny because then they put like the plants that spit poison around. So you have to run around them because you can't shoot them with the arrow to kill them. And I'm like, that's just dumb. Like, it's like, okay, that makes it harder, but it's also stupid. Like, you just have this thing that spawns poison around there. And there's one of the maps where they put it, you can't run around it. So you have to run around the long way to get to the other side. And I'm like, that's just dumb.
It is cool with the other 8-bit ones that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I will admit I did giggle at Link's 8-bit sword.
It is. They are very funny, and you can tell because like sometimes you run up and you're like, oh, where are they in? You see their name, but you're not sure in the horde of enemies where they are. But you see it, and you see this giant 8-bit boomerang. You're like, oh, there's Impa.
Nice.
Oh, but real quick, I also want to mention that the Master Quest map also has my favorite type of any of the missions that they have. It's just rack up your KO count. And at the start, there's little dudes, or there's, a couple of guys, and then they'll send a named guy after you. And if you kill the named person, like Zelda or whatever, Girahim, and if you kill them, then it spawns more guys. Then it'll spawn a giant monster, or 3. It's usually 2 or 3. But then if you kill that, it'll spawn more guys. And basically, if you kill like the actual named things, the commanders and whatnot, it'll spawn more minions. And you just go through and just slaughter minions for like 10 minutes. It's so fun, and a lot of the guys drop magic, so you can stay in that magic mode for like a long time and rack up and get like the extra experience and the rupees and stuff. And those missions are super fun because it's like 10 minutes, go kill.
I did enjoy Hyrule Warriors when I was playing. I did enjoy that game.
Yeah, I like it. It definitely has some crap in there that's really frustrating, but it's a fun game. A lot of content.
I'm still waiting for the day, Rick, when it comes to XGR. It's like, Richter, what game did you play this week? Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires on PS4. So I'll be like, yay, and I'll rush Empire.
It should be coming out this year.
Isn't it already out?
I don't think so. Not in. I think in Japan it's out. I don't think it's out here.
Oh, when I was looking at it the other day, they said it came out in America. I looked, and on the site I looked on had all 3 release dates as Japan, Europe, and America, all as like last year. And I was like, oh, cool. But I was like, I'm guessing that's probably wrong, because they probably want to dub it, or at least sub it.
Yeah. I don't think so, because I haven't seen it like on the store, but I'll look into it.
Cool. He's on it. I got my best man on the job. But how about you, Marcus? Have you played any games this week? If Marcus is still there.
I think he's still doing work. Marcus Shadow doing work. We should guess at what he played.
Yeah. My catch-up, I'm going to go kick it off with... I played Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Oh my god, the new patch! Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Do you remember when we kept talking to you, Rick, and we kept talking about how... And I showed you when you played with me. I think you played with me a bit on SharePlay.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you went to use like the Hologlobe, or you went to use the computer thing to customize yourself or anything, Conan O'Brien would not shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah?
I found out the problem.
Uh-huh.
So did they. The problem was he was so close to the thing. When you press circle, it activated the item and him himself. In the new patch, they've moved him a couple of inches backwards.
Nice.
It no longer affects it. He doesn't speak unless he's spoken to. I know it sounds bad, but I was like, yeah, they fixed it. But I had to play it because the Arrow pack came out. Oh god, it's short, yes, but oh god, I love that pack. It starts with him, Rick, and possibly Pew, because I don't know how much of Arrow Pew's seen. It starts with him, and he mentions being on the Arrow and having to become something else, something green and pointy. Almost like an arrow, you might say. And I'm like, oh god. And then he does, the bit where he was slapping the water in the bowl? In season 1, I believe it was, and it might be season 2, where Slade's first teaching him, and he's slapping the water on the island. No one?
Don't know.
Oh, so you may have seen that bit. He was slapping the water to train, like they do in films, where they hit the water in the bowl. And he mentions on the cutscene, he goes, I was training to fight this water, but my training is not complete yet, because what if I come up against another liquid, one with a different fighting style? Like a soup, not like a really wet soup, but like that really thick pea soup you sometimes get. That would be a different fight. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, no, you're missing the point. And he goes, and I'm here on the island, I'm being trained by Slade Wilson. He's a guy that likes to take off his top and hit me in the face a lot. Don't worry, he tells me it's for my own good. Oh, I'm just like, what the fuck? Then when you start to play the game, he's in his, regular Arrow costume. with the green hood and stuff, and he's going through and he's fighting stuff, and then suddenly he communicates and he says, "Now then, for anyone," this is during gameplay, this, but he goes, "Now then, for anyone out there from the continuity, please, don't worry, this is still in continuity, because sometimes I totally like to imagine myself back on the island in my current outfit." What? That's normal, right? And he goes, and then another time it's like, "Yeah, sometimes I imagine myself smaller and made of plastic." And I'm just like, what the fuck? And you know, like on Lego games, there's always something you can hit and break multiple ones to get a mini kit. There's little tiny Deathstroke masks with an arrow sticking out the eye.
Nice.
And you have to kill 5. I'm like, oh god, that's awesome. And there's just loads of little things like that they did with the arrow pack. I was like, that's just wonderful. I love that. And I wish you could play through it all. The characters, but they put him on the island, so you don't really need to have seen Arrow to appreciate the pack, as long as you know he was on the island. But still, I was like, that's just wonderful when they keep taking the piss out of it, and it's like, oh, that's wonderful. But they don't do it in an insulting way. They did it in a nice way. And yes, for those wondering, he does totally go, no, 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 Arrow. Not that I tried that. I was curious. But, okay, that's it for catch-up. Time to move on to the awards. That's right, it's the award time. It's the next 3 categories, which the next 3 categories are multiplayer experience, single-player experience, and character of the year. So, first up, worst multiplayer experience. Who would like to go first?
Stacy.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll kick off the awards first.
Okay.
Worst multiplayer experience for me, and technically it came out 2012, but they did re-release it in 2014. Awesome Naughts Assemble on the PS4. It's a MOBA. Yay! It's a side-scrolling game. Yay! It's extremely broken. Wait, what? There was one character who every time someone used it would go woo and do like this big radius attack of a blast that people couldn't escape from. So guess which character everyone used to take advantage of? And I'm like, oh, fuck off. I want to use one of the other characters. I don't want to have to resort to that, and I didn't. But it was unfun to play, and it just wasn't as good. It's like, that's not a good way of doing a MOBA. I believe there's a recent MOBA coming out on Xbox One that proves consoles can do MOBAs, plus the one Gearbox is working on looks pretty cool. This just wasn't it. Plus, I loved the Lord of the Rings Guardians of Middle-earth, whatever it was called, that was on PS3.
Right.
I wish the service hadn't gone down.
Yeah.
But worst multiplayer experience. Take us away, Pew. That's Pew, as in P for Pigman. E as in Eggman.
Worst
She's on mute.
one for multiplayer was Little Big Planet, because that was super mega glitchy.
Don't you mean Little Big Planet 3?
Yes. Little Big Planet 3, because, like, oh my god, you and me were playing, and we were the abominable snowman, and we were just sliding all over the place, and, like, oh god, it was not fun. It was just very, very difficult. In fact, we ended up actually doing doing the mission separately, and then coming back later after we defeated that one mission.
Oh, that was a little difficult and annoying. I will admit it wasn't as bad in local, but yeah, I can see why you'd give it that.
Single player wise, it's awesome. Just multiplayer made it super like shit.
I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Over to Rick.
All right. So for mine, this feels a little bit like picking on the little dumb kid, but I think I'm gonna give it to Destiny, just because it is better in multiplayer. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But,
oh god!
Like the high-end stuff, like they don't do. Like they had a really good matchmaking system, so I can't knock that. However, at the really high-end stuff, they won't matchmake you. Like for the raid and stuff, they don't. They purposefully will not match you with somebody. So it's like you have to actually know people, and like there's no in-game chat or anything. that, I'm not kidding, 2 different people had the same idea to make a website where you could say, hey, I want to form a group for the raid in Destiny. Because Bungie refuses to do something like that. So
That's
people have
pretty
made it. So you have to go to a website to chat to try to get in a group for these things if you don't have friends, enough friends, because it's like 6 players for the raid. If you don't have all of them online at once, and if you don't have a big, they're not. It's basically a guild. I forget what they call it. And also the fact that to join a guild, you can't do it in the game. You have to go onto their website. Like, it's just, they have these really stupid choices. Because like my friend, yeah.
Oh, they did that with Call of Duty. Not this year. This year still did it. But the year before, it's like the year before that, you could make a guild on that. You could make a clan in that inside the game. You could do all the options. Cool. Now it's like, you need an app to do this. I'm like, why? I didn't need this last year. What the fuck? I hate that way. It's like, you make a clan, use the app.
That sounds stupid.
You have to and it was like super obtuse to join. Like, I was with people, I was talking with them in the Xbox Live party system, and I'm like, okay, so you have to go into you have to know the name of the clan. That's it, clan. And then you have to send a message, hey, I want to join. Then they have to see the message, approve it. Then you have to check that you saw that they approved it, and then you have to go to the clan page again and click join because you're allowed to join. Oh.
Did they at least patch it? Did they at least patch it so you could trade?
No. Yeah, there's no trading, and just it sucks because the matchmaking is actually really good for the stuff that they allow it to be, but at the high end stuff where you might want it, because if it's for let's say the normal strikes, they're 3-man. So if you have a couple friends and you can run them 2-person, I've done it. So it's doable, but 1 or 2 people in a 6-person raid doesn't really work unless you're those crazy people that made a video where they're like, look, 2 people beat it. I'm like, good for them. But it's a lot harder to do that when it's geared towards 6. 2 doesn't work. 3 doesn't work. Even 5 can be really hard. People want all 6, and it just sucks that you have to go literally outside the game to get this, which makes no sense when they could have had a chat or a looking for group thing, and the people had to make sites, and it's just
I could see that. And Marcus, since you're back, what would you say was the worst multiplayer experience of 2014?
WWE 2K15. Because while they made vast improvements to the gameplay itself, the online's kind of non-existent. It sucks. It's laggy as all hell, and you get no control over it, so it's not as fun as it could be.
I can see about the fact they've lost match types and entrances online, but I will say it was not laggy at all when I played with my brother, Crispy, and a whole bunch of other people online. It's not lagged once when I played online.
Okay, so maybe it just needs high bandwidth or something then, because whenever I've played it with Jim and Andy and stuff, we've all lagged the fuck. It sucked.
Fair enough.
Did you ever win while losing? Because I
Win
still.
while...
Yeah,
no, they fixed that.
Okay.
It stays in sync.
Okay, because I don't care that was 4 years ago. That is still fucking funny to me. Because there's video of him winning, but everyone was saying, "Oh, look, he tapped out," and he's like, "What?"
Yeah. Oh, that was only 2 years ago, wasn't it? Wasn't that 2013?
I don't remember what year that was.
But
it's
hilarious. And it did it a couple of times. Oh my god. Yeah. Yes. What are you yesing at? I just won the ladder match. Yes. No, you didn't. I'm beating you over in the face with a ladder. Wait, what? That's bizarre.
Yeah, if only that were a feature.
But,
What?
Fair enough. So now we shall move on to, I believe, we go best next. Best, or do we go worst, Rick?
No, it was best.
Worst? Oh, okay, so it is best and worst.
Best, yeah.
Okay, so next one is best multiplayer experience of 2014. I shall go first. I went with Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Because that's unbelievably fun to play with people. It's PvE is great. even some of the players versus player stuff isn't as annoying as it is on other games. It's pretty fun. I mean, every part of Plants vs Zombies is just fun. The more as a multiplayer, playing it just by yourself, the single player PvE, yeah, that's kind of crap. But the multiplayer, which is the heart of the game, in my opinion, it's wonderful. I love Plants vs Zombies, Garden Warfare on PS4.
That's funny you said that, because that's the same one that I went with.
No. You have to take something different.
I have to take something different now.
No kidding. You can. Obviously, but yeah.
It's made for multiplayer. It's like the funnest multiplayer thing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when they do the Christmas thing with the extra bonuses and stuff. Oh, that would be great.
Oh, I loved all the Christmas stuff with the hats. Oh, that's fun. But
Hey, Mo, quick question for since I don't know the rules. Are we going with games that came out in 2014, or
yes.
or games that came out in 2014 but didn't experience till 2015 count?
If it came out in 2014, it regardless of when you experienced it, as long as it's before you go to give it an award, it still came out in 2014, it's allowed. As long as it came out 2014, not 2013.
Right. Fair enough.
Over to Hammy.
All right. So for mine, best multiplayer experience, although Plants vs Zombies is very good. For one simple reason, I went one big reason I would say I went with Hyrule Warriors. The many reasons I'll do those first, where it's a lot easier to play. But the biggest reason is because I do like split screen, but it's awesome that like when you're doing 2-player, one person can get the full screen on the little gamepad, which is small, but it's very functional. I've had to play it a lot on there, and I, don't have any problems with the screen size. And my wife gets the whole big TV. Like, I think it's awesome that you can do 2-player with that's still, couch co-op that's not actually split screen, so you both have the whole real estate of the respective screen to do it with.
I absolutely love that functionality on
it is awesome
on the Wii U, because as I've mentioned in the past when we did it with like Call of Duty, Hyrule and other games, I've mentioned with that functionality, it's like the best of local, because you're in the same room, you can see each other's reactions, you can joke, you can have fun. But it's like the best of online too, with no screen peeking.
Yeah.
Like the perfect balance. And people will ignore it completely.
Yeah. It is awesome. I mean, it definitely, there are times when it's probably pushing the Wii U to its limit, because it takes a while to render enemies on 2 fronts. But it's really awesome, and just that game is a lot of fun to play 2-player. And like I said, it makes some of the bullshit a lot more palatable and doable. When you have the stupid that stupid Kuko that just stares at you waiting for you to hit it. Like, I don't know whoever put that in the game should be fired. But anyway, but it makes it so I can be super careful and my wife can get all the kills because she doesn't have the restriction of having to be careful of stupid chicken, stalking you and staring at you, waiting to get struck, and then gets mad at you because it's standing. Like, if I'm standing on a firing range and I get hit, I can't get mad if it says firing range. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go stand next to this target. Oh.
Especially considering a load of our people's moves are like tornadoes and shit, suck people in. And the second you see him get sucked in, like, oh, crap. But I will admit, I love that chicken. Because I loved, for the first time, I loved killing him, and then seeing another one appear and be like, okay, don't kill him, another one, don't. I just kept doing him, and then suddenly Crispy hears, oh God, what, the chickens are attacking me. And he turns to me and goes, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, the chickens are, he goes, they won't stop. I'm like, oh, where are you? And he said, look at your map radar. I looked, I said, okay, incoming chickens. And I ran past them, so the chickens went up to him and started to attack him, and I just ran away. And he's like, you prick. And I was like, yes. But I wish that game had online, because most people I knew who played that game were you guys. I only knew one person in real life that gave a shit, and it's like, oh, come on.
Online would be awesome. I would also now that I finally have it, I'm doing some of the network link stuff, but none of my friends have, I guess, played. I don't know how to get your friends on there. I don't know if they have to have played it recently or not, but I want to do that because if you do the network link, the battle, it actually, if they're on your friends list, it gives them something too, and there's some really good rewards for those network link battles.
I still love that name, Network Link.
I know. Link would have been funnier, but
Link.
Link to Link or something, yeah. But yeah, I had to go with that because I think it was really fun. It made the game easier in good ways, and also just the split screen local co-op, not the non-split screen was just really well implemented, and the game really benefits from that, especially that type of game. So I thought that was cool.
That was pretty fun. I did love Hyrule Warriors. How about you, Marcus?
Oh, really quickly, the Kukos. The Kukos would be as bad. I mean, it would be okay because Legend of Zelda kind of didn't take food. It wouldn't be as bad if they didn't force you to friggin' fight them. They have the Golden Kuko come, it's like, it's taking over a keep. If you don't stop it, it's going to expand in power. I'm like, what?
Well, okay. Two ones that are fun. I don't know if you've ever seen the Mama Kuko with the baby Kuko or whatever, the Kuko chick. But if the Kuko chick dies, no matter where the mama is, she will run to you and kill you regardless of what you did. Which is dumb. Why would she come to... She'll run across the map to kill you when you had nothing to do with it. That's stupid. Two, the Stalker Kuko, you're the only person that can damage it to trigger it. The enemy can hit it as much as they want, and it will never aggro on the enemy. And some of the Kukos, it's it started fighting both sides in its rage, like the mama does that, and you're like, it never fights an enemy once. If they made it fair and it would attack enemies too, I wouldn't complain. But the problem is, and in the original Legend of Zelda, if you screwed with a Kuko, that was your fault. They didn't do anything. But they also didn't sit there and stare at your face while you're trying to fight 60 dudes. And then it's
come over
that's
to your
fault. Yeah. Just waiting. So, if a Kuko got in my face while I'm fighting other guys, that's his fault. But in a lot of things, the original, at least in A Link to the Past, sorry, I should say. That's the only one I really experienced with them. They're in the town. You're probably cutting brush and stuff. You don't, and if you piss them off, you run off the screen and everything's fine, and you apologize.
Let it be known that the Kukus in The Legend of Zelda never bothered you in the games.
Exactly.
Even in Ocarina of Time, they would just sit there and wait for you. But if you just walked away, it would just fucking go off doing whatever. It would never follow you.
Yeah, if they did that in the game, that'd be fine. If it literally just wandered around and it happened to wander by, but it didn't stop there and stare at you and follow you no matter where you went on the map, it'd be fine. That makes sense. Or if the enemies can trigger it, but it's just dumb that it's literally it only hurts the player. And that's bad in my opinion.
That is really bad. Yeah, like I said, the thing I hated about it was the fact that they can take over keeps, and I'm just like, as strong as the Gold Kuko is. Yeah, if you're playing single player and you have a Gold Kuko take over a keep, you're pretty much fucked. Yeah. Because it's if you try to go kill the Gold Kuko, the other keeps are pretty much going to get taken over by the enemies because you're going to spend half the fucking time you're playing the game trying to take out that Kuko.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was your best experience, Marcus? Multiplayer.
Probably that Monopoly Go that we played. I think that's what it's called. Card game. That thing was incredibly fun, and it's nice and quick, and it's perfect for for people like us who it's difficult to get all of us on at the same time and stuff, and we can just sit there and play it for an hour or whatever, play a couple of hands.
That is pretty fun. The Monopoly Deal part.
Deal. That's it. Yeah, Monopoly Deal.
I like that. So now it's the next category, which is worst single player experience. And I will go first again. Worst single player experience, Dragon Age Inquisition. Because it's everything the game's not everything the game is not supposed to be, and nothing the game is. So it's congratulations, you've sold me a different game. I almost feel like taking it back.
You're so smart.
Yeah, I almost feel like taking it back and saying, look, you sold me the wrong game here, clearly. Can I have my money back? But it's that bad, like I've mentioned in the past. I'm half expecting the store to not be there, and just like a hurricane with laughter that disappears.
The Dragon Age is also cast.
Yes. But take us away next. Hang on, did Pew agree with me?
Oh, for
Worst single player experience.
no.
Okay, I thought you said I agreed with you when I said Dragon Age Inquisition. That's why I was going to get your opinion. Fair enough. So take us away with your worst single player, Richter.
All right. I don't know if this counts, so I'll throw two out there pretty quick. Titanfall doesn't really have a single player component, so I don't know if that counts. So if it does, then yeah, that, because it really doesn't. It needs to offer some kind of single player, and even like the quote unquote story mode is still online versus just with cutscenes.
I would
but
love
if oh, okay, but if that doesn't count, then it'd be Destiny, just because.
Same thing.
Kind of, but just it's not near as fun with one player. Like, you can go through, but it's a lot more boring, and you're noticing that it's a lot more boring. And maybe it's just because when there's another person, you'll talk to them. Like it's probably your friend, because like I said, but and with the matching, it matches really well. But you still, for some of the content you need to do a lot, it has to be good because it has to match you with someone, because doing it by yourself is a slog or boring. So, yeah. So either one of those, take your pick. They both, unfortunately, didn't deliver on the single-player experience.
I will allow both of those. And
Okay.
similar to my Dragon Age, I feel Destiny sold people the wrong game.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh, it's a single-player game, but we'll have some multiplayer elements and stuff. It's not. It's an MMO with some dashes of single-player.
Yeah. Well, when they were marketing it, they're like, has an epic story that you have to read on the internet after you collect cards. Like, what?
I wish that was the trailer. Has an epic story. I read that in the trailer.
Yeah, not the official trailer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but there's a joke-like trailer where they might be telling the truth that they do. That's one of the things they mention. They're like an epic story that you see on the website.
Nice. And over to Pew for her worst single-player experience.
This might surprise you, but I found the single player on single player on Super Smash really boring. Unless I was playing with my amiibo. Unless I was playing with my amiibo, and even then, because it's so powerful, it can get really boring. And basically, I only play it when my boyfriend's here, and we both team up against my amiibo, or I'm playing online. Because that's the only way I can fucking
multiplayer and not single player if your boyfriend's there.
Oh, I guess so, but it's still offline. So, but
When you say offline, you said single player.
Well, she said that was more fun to fight her amiibo when she was doing multiplayer. So I was still understanding that as single player. Like the only what she thought was fun, the most fun single player was fighting the amiibo. But even that she enjoyed much more.
Yeah, I enjoyed that much more than playing with my boyfriend. And the thing is, my favorite part of Super Smash was the 3DS Smash run. And the tour, I don't like the tour thing because I don't like collecting fighters for other people to fight, and then I'm fighting, and no, just let me play with the same person each time, and then make mini games about it or something. I don't want to use a whole bunch of different people, because then I have to switch styles, and have to get used to all the freaking you have to get used to all their moves again. If I was using the same fighter each time, I could get it I can't just switch from one fighter to another fighter to another fighter, and then have the whole thing linked together. And it's just no, what is all this shit? Just give me the fucking Smash run.
I will say with Smash Brothers, it's a fighting game, and I will be honest, most fighting games, the single player is not that good. The heart is always multiplayer, but there's always some bits of fun in single player somewhere. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I could totally see giving it that. Mm-hmm. And I believe Marcus said he agreed with you.
Yeah.
To me, the single player element of Smash was just non-existent. I mean, I love the single player of the previous Smash games because it actually had a story, and I love story, much like you do, Mole. And it saddened me that the creator was like, because I can't deal with the interwebs, I'm going to get rid of the story element. I'm like, no, that's the best part of Smash. It's fair enough, you want to get rid of the cutscenes, still give us the story. And what little story there is in this Smash Brothers is just terrible. It's like the supposed solo play was an afterthought, and I'm like, I don't like that. That's as bad as taking a solo game like, say, God of War, and making a multiplayer for it as an afterthought. That is just as bad, if not worse. And I didn't like that. I'm like, ugh.
I was going to say to you, Marcus, to be fair, the last Smash Brothers Brawl did have a story mode, yes. But besides that, the story mode has mainly been their little figures that the hand is playing with.
Yes, which is fine, but there was still campaign modes for each of the characters, and at least when you went through it, it felt unique. This one, it was just pick a fighter, do the same shit over and over again. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. And like I said, there was no story behind it, so you had no motivations for getting behind any of the characters aside from, ooh, I'm going to get my little trophy at the end of it for this character. I'm like, that's not much of a motivation for single player.
Sometimes my trophy doesn't match. Like, I'll do like female Robin, and then it'll give me male Robin trophy. Fuck you, it's digital. You can fucking just add a few clicks in there to make it a female Robin trophy.
I will admit I did enjoy the crazy hand one where you'd go through and you'd put it up as high as you wanted on difficulty and you could lose stuff and all that. I was like, yes, thank you. There's actually a punishment if I die. That's awesome. And I was trying to do, you know what I mean, put as high as I can and do as best as I can while losing some. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah, the little challenge modes and stuff were cool. They were fine. I just didn't like the fact there wasn't a proper campaign mode. That ticked me off.
Fair enough.
So we're never going to get Soul Calibur 2 again, are we?
Only if there's Jedis.
No, just Link.
What if it's free to play? No. That was horrible last week.
Last week.
I meant when we mentioned it, that was horrible last week. But it's best single player experience now, and I went with Alien Isolation. That game had it all. Story, it played well with its actual genre. So, some kind of fun, somewhat slightly lying, but still fun DLC.
Wait, did they lie, or were you lying?
Who's moving around a lot?
Sorry, that was mine. I'm just plugging my headset in.
Okay.
It started.
But yeah, I was saying, they lied a bit because they were like, with these, like the one where you can play through the original story, the original film bit. It's like, if you play this, it's going to be exactly like the record. It's not. It's like a challenge map from Arkham, but unlike the challenge maps from Arkham, it's fun. But I love this game. I'm so happy to hear today. I heard it's coming to Project Morpheus. I've already got the camera. I just need to buy the £300 headset. I totally want to play that on fucking Project Morpheus. Imagine Alien Isolation, but with a virtual reality headset on.
Can you stream that? I want to see that. Like, I don't want to play it, but I want to see someone play it.
Jumps out at me and just hit, oh, fuck, Richter, you've got time, yeah? Update Cards Against Humanity, put Maul's Heart Attack, and my plate is close to the floor.
You know, I'd like to think that if we were online talking and you were having a heart attack, that you would actually take the time to say that. Update with my heart attack. Be like, done.
Yeah, done. Thanks, Paul. But yeah, I went with Alien Isolation. Over to Richter.
All right, for best single player, I went with a Vita title. So we just lost Jim. Danganronpa 1. Came out February, I believe, and I talked about it a lot then, and the sequel came out and disappointed me. But the story in the first one was so good, and I think it was the most engaging game I played this year. Just, I was totally absorbed in it, and, like, not all the characters were great, but I still, like, liked them, and one would die, you're like, sometimes you'd be like, oh, good, that guy, I didn't like that person, or sometimes you're like, no, but I like that person, you're like, oh, and, like, it was just really good at that, and some of that's in the sequel, too, but, like, I just think the first one, just overall package, the story was great, like, the finding the evidence in the courtroom drama, so it's kind of like Phoenix Wright, but like a lot more bloody, which I've said. And they also, then when you beat the game, you get the the school mode where you go around and talk to people and you send them on this like weird mini game where they gather items and you make stuff, and it was like dumb but oddly fun. And like I'd play it and sometimes you're just like, one more day. I need like 2 more of this piece. I'll send people to go gather it from the room, and then like you get like the 2 pieces are all right, you make it and you're like, oh man, but I'm really close to being able to make this item. And it like it kind of has that just one more level kind of mentality where because I think beating the story mode, I think it was about 15 hours or so, and just that after mode that I imagine most people probably don't care about, but I just found it really fun, and like at some point I had like 40-something hours, and I'm like, did I really play that silly little mini game mode for that long? It's just like it was oddly engaging, and that was a really fun game. And if anyone has a Vita or wants to play it on PlayStation TV, I believe it's compatible,
Nice.
and you want a good story, I recommend it.
Nice. And I will say you touched upon something which I think has been sort of a problem in games in the last generation or two.
Mm-hmm.
Why have they stopped being afraid to be stupid? Like,
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but these 2 concepts are ridiculously stupid, came out at the same era, and are fucking awesome. Number 1, a fat plumber is jumping on turtles and mushrooms to save a princess from another giant turtle has kidnapped her, and along the way he will beat his head on a block and sometimes get a flower that makes him spit fire out his hand. That is stupid.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Or how about this? A fat, evil scientist in a flying disability scooter has kidnapped animals and put them inside a robot. So it's up to a blue hedgehog going at the speed of sound, basically supersonic speed, to stop him by jumping on the robots and freeing the animals because they live past the explosion. Stupid. Great game. Nowadays they're all like, we need hulking, muscular guy with gun. And the threat needs to be realistic. It's like, oh, come on, I want a little bit of stupidness back. I want my stupid back.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of games like try to be too logical, and I think there's a place for that, but then also sometimes you just gotta let it go and just do something that's fun. And I don't always see eye to eye with Nintendo, but a lot of times their games just have that fun factor where they just kind of do it and people enjoy it. You know, it feels less like I have to do this and more like I want to keep doing this. So.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo, technically someone else, but Nintendo with them helped make Pokemon. You catch these crazy looking monsters in balls and you let them fight. If that came out, in my honest opinion, nowadays by Microsoft or Sony, you'd be catching fucking like Monster Hunter realistic monsters in like cages and just letting them go for like bloody fucking battles in the middle of nowhere. It wouldn't be the same. But
I don't want to see that now.
Or it'd be like super kid friendly. You know, like I'm not saying Pokemon isn't, but Pokemon also has depth for older people, or I think it might just be like really, really surface, you know, like level, like it's just too cutesy and it like there's no depth to it, you know, like there would be less elements, less attacks and less stats, you know, because just be like how much it'd just be like health and attack power or something if it was for kids. Like they'd try to dumb it down really far.
They
like,
would.
oh, it's for 5-year-olds. Then we don't want numbers.
Like we said in the past, that's something that annoys me as well. Of kids' games nowadays are really dumb and to the point of being a waste of money. There's very few that do. I think the Lego games have found that balance between like you have to replay it to get the little mini kits and solve puzzles. Whereas most of them you play, it's like, okay, I completed it in 2 hours. Yay.
Yeah.
What's next? But what was Pew Pew's best single-player experience of 2014?
Mine was Little Big Planet 3.
Cool.
Because single player, that's really, really fun. And I love all the other characters, and I probably love Oddsock the best because he's like the fastest, and he's like so action movie hero boy, like jumping off platforms, and you know he seems like the most actioniest, and that's really fun.
That is nice. I did enjoy Little Big Planet 3. I did mention to Pew earlier, though, Rick. In my opinion, they were a little crafty with that. Sort of like how I think Borderlands 3 is going to be with Borderlands the pre-sequel, of testing some stuff in it, like in between title things, so that it could stick later on, like which parts work. Because Oddsock's ability is to jump off walls and run round and shit. Running around on the walls was on the Muppets DLC. Wall jumping was on the DC one. Swoop flies down and comes up exactly like the cape. It's like, wait, so I can see where they've taken these from, and I don't hate it. It's not like I'm hating them for doing that. I'm like, that's pretty clever. You tested it in DLC, it worked, so you made it into the full game. That's kind of cool. But what was Marcus's favourite single-player experience of 2014?
I'm probably gonna go with Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. I really did like that game. And the story
You mean
was
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, well, coming from somebody who has only played the first Assassin's Creed, I really liked the game. And to me, it felt more like Arkham. So, yeah. Like, they literally ripped Arkham, but I felt it was... Like, the gameplay I felt was smoother and better than Arkham was. I felt it was like Arkham refined in terms of gameplay. I approve of it.
Yeah.
I love running around as a dude with a sword and a knife, and you can, like, stab people in the back and stuff. It's awesome.
Nice. I will say, yeah, some like we mentioned in the past, some of the Assassin's Creed games did take from Arkham Asylum, which Arkham City took from some of the Assassin's Creed, and sort of like WCW versus WWE, where they take stuff from each other to improve each other, which it works.
Yeah. I really enjoy that game.
Nice. Are you away from your microphone right now?
No, I'm sitting at the desk.
Fair enough. Your voice changed from how it was before to really like in a tunnel or underwater.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. But we heard you. That was Shadows of Mordor. And our last award for today is Character of the Year. And worst Character of the Year in terms of just video games, I went with, and I did check with Ricky to make sure this was allowed, I went with Batman. And that's not because of comics, movies, TV shows, or anything like that. It's just because of games. Because Arkham Knight got delayed till this year. Blackgate came out, was a beat-em-up side-scrolling game, was kind of fun. Not great, it was okay-ish, but everyone ignored it. And Lego Batman 3 was sort of disappointing. It's become playable now that they've patched it so Conan O'Brien is far away from the things you need to use, so he doesn't activate unless he's spoken to, like an obedient little... Yes, that's in the new patch, which is good. I like him obedient. But that's just been a bad year for Batman in terms of gaming. Like, his big game delayed, the other game ignored, and the one that wasn't ignored was disappointing compared to Lego Marvel or Lego Batman 2. So, yeah, I kind of had to give it to Batman. So, over to Pew.
My worst character of the year was Stroud from Dragon Age Inquisition, because he should have been the Warden. He just should have been. There was no reason why he shouldn't have been there at all. He was just there as a filler, and they didn't even supply his dialogue because that option could have been Logain or Alistair had they not been king or dead. And
Or
they
both.
put a lot of dialogue for those two options, but they did fuck all for him. So, like, he should have been the fucking Warden. Why was he there? Who the fuck thought it was a good idea? Why did that pass? No, like, you clearly didn't, like, whoever gave them a green check mark, whoever gave them a green check mark was, like, should get an X mark on their face. Like in freaking Pokemon, where Ash couldn't go to that gym, like, on your face.
And it is worth mentioning, she did say X Mark, not X Smarks, which is the show hosted by Richter, available Saturdays except for the pay-per-view, in which it's Sunday.
It was just so stupid. And you barely even recognize him anyway, because he was a little bit in two. And it's like, who the fuck cares about you? When you have to choose between Hawk and Stroud, it's like, fuck Stroud. I don't even give a shit about you. Like, I don't have no loyalty to you. I don't care. Go ahead and die right now. In fact, I will chop you up to bits and season you up straight for the Darkspawn. I don't give a shit. I will sleep like a baby tonight.
Fair enough. What was Richter's worst single player? Or worst character?
Worst character? Okay. This is one of the characters from Danganronpa 2. There's going to be a couple spoilers in here. I don't know if anyone's going to play it or remember. But one of the... Yeah.
Oh, spoilers, run away.
One of the characters, Hiyoko Saionji, she was the little ultimate traditional dancer girl, so she wears like a kimono all the time. And she she's like the same age as your character, so she's like 16, but she looks like 12, and she's just super bitchy, and I hate super bitchy characters. And she's like super mean to the nice, like the super clumsy, like apologetic, like whipped girl. Like she's super mean to her for no real reason. And I just hated her, and I always complained about her, like when I was talking to the game about the game to my wife. I was just like, oh, I really hate her, and I'm like, I hope she dies. I hope she dies. Spoiler. So if anyone really cares, they could put it down or stop listening for the next minute or so. But and she eventually does die, and I was freaking happy, and I wanted to not. I wanted to not accuse the person that did it because I didn't care and I agreed with them. But what's funny is the person that killed her was the one that was abusing her, but not because that. It's because she just happened to in on something else. She was wrong place, wrong time. So she didn't kill her out of revenge or anything. She just was like, oh, you saw too much, boom. And I was like, yeah, I was like totally stoked when she died. Normally, the character's like, oh, I like them, or oh, I didn't like them, or that guy was a douche. But her, I was like, yes, you can't die soon enough in this game.
She's your Skyward Sword Zelda.
Yes. Oh man, I hated her.
That fucking cliff.
Oh.
I will never forget that fucking cliff.
I picture like Americans in after 9/11. I picture you have a poster with Skyward Sword Zelda on it. It says "Never forget."
But who was Marcus's worst character of the year?
This might come as a surprise to Richter, and it's not because he's been in terrible games, but I'm going to give it to Phoenix Wright. Now,
Not because he's been in terrible games? What?
I hate what they fucking did with him. Because I haven't played Dual Destinies yet. I have the game. Richter tells me it's great. But, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Oh, what they did to Phoenix. It pains me. I mean, it was a good game, but, my God, Phoenix is dumb, but he's not that dumb. And they made Professor Layton, like, super fucking genius to the point that he knew everything and Phoenix knew nothing. And I'm like, no, Phoenix cannot be that stupid.
Oh, God, did they make Phoenix as dumb as a pew?
No, it's not that they made him dumb. It's just they made Phoenix Wright. It's all about Phoenix Wright. And guess who Phoenix Wright is the sidekick to Professor Layton? He's the sidekick to a sidekick. Sorry, he's like Luke's sidekick.
But no, they did it. Actually, they did it kind of brilliantly, where they had the two main characters and the two sidekicks. The problem I had is, okay, Phoenix isn't the most intelligent person, but he's one of the most observant people you'll ever come across, whether he's that smart or not. The problem is they didn't make him observant at all. They made him less observant than you, Pew, and that's pretty unobservant.
So he was dumber than a pew.
Kind of, yeah. But I did not like that, because I'm just like, okay, that's a clever way to tell the story, but at the same time, I'm like, I came into this game not having played any Professor Layton, so I didn't really care about him. I mean, I thought he was a cool character. Well, I came as a fan of Phoenix Wright, and they just pissed.
Oh, that's your problem right there. Because this game is a Professor Layton game, and Phoenix Wright just said, "Hello, I'm your guest here. I will welcome you with my face and nothing else."
Actually, no, because it was developed by both teams, and the courtroom parts felt extremely like Phoenix Wright. They did the Phoenix Wright
part. Yeah, but I'm saying,
right,
like, it just highly favors. The game highly favors Professor Layton. So even though it's made by both people, they put Phoenix Wright to the sidelines and mostly focused on pumping up Professor Layton.
That's my complaint.
It shouldn't have at all. But as I'm a fan of Professor Layton over Phoenix Wright, I was totally cool with that because I like Professor Layton more. Because I'm trying to get into Phoenix Wright, and I thought this would be a good way to start getting into it. Wrong, by the way, if that's what you're trying to do.
I will also just say, for the record, for anyone listening out there, I heard when we were saying dumb as a pew and stuff, Rick the Hammer say, oh, poor Pew Pew. We here at the Xpound do not condone humanizing Anastasia Lacey. Thank you.
Yeah, it felt like they used the Phoenix Wright part for two things. One, to make more money, and two, as an excuse to have a fucking court system in this game. And I'm like, fuck off. If you're going to use Phoenix Wright, use Phoenix Wright. Don't use him and then piss all over him for other shit. No.
He's an accessory to Professor Layton.
Which I didn't like the fact that Professor Layton was that smart. I know he's supposed to be smart, but come on, it's Phoenix Wright. It's the guy who solved the unsolved case that was about to go into the mothballs forever, and you're portraying him like this? No,
Well,
fuck.
Professor Layton, you have to remember, he's super smart, but he has no concept of time. So when they're trying to chase a murderer, and he sees a window, and he's like, "Hey, Luke, this reminds me of that puzzle I saw one time." And Luke's like, "Don't we have to catch a killer?" And he's like, "No, fuck it. I want you to put these matchsticks so they look like a star." And the murderer's just like, "Ha ha 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 ha," and running away, twirling his mustache.
I will also
Yes.
say, because this is a crossover, I can kind of see why they would have done what you guys had mentioned. I'm really looking forward to Marcus Shadow playing J-Stars when it gets translated, just to hear, wait, why can't Goku one-shot Dr. Slump? Because that would be amazing.
I'm fine with that. I own the original one on DS, the Japanese one, so I know all about that. But see, the thing is, I would have been okay with what they did with him if I hadn't noticed the credits afterwards and noticed that this was a collaboration between both teams, and it's just like the Phoenix Wright team pissed all over their own IP. I'm like, really? If it had just been the Professor, like Street Fighter vs. Tekken series, if it had just been the Professor Layton people making this game, okay, fair enough. They probably don't know Phoenix Wright as much, and they want to focus on their own character, fair enough. But if you have both teams making the game, there is no excuse to piss on one of the characters. Come on.
Is
They
it
didn't give a
possible-
shit.
Is it possible this game does what Mario and Sonic at the Olympics do, where at the end it will clearly say a Nintendo and Team Mario and stuff, but it's made by Sega. They just put that in there because of trademarks.
No, because in the credits, when I was looking at the team members, like half the people who made it were from Capcom. The other half were from, was it Level 5 or whatever, that made...
Yeah.
Level 5, yeah.
Nearly half the people who made Phoenix Wright made this game and clearly did not give a shit about their own character. That's what pisses me off.
Of course Capcom don't give a shit about their own character. Did you not play DMC?
Touche. I'm just like, oh, come on.
And if he doesn't, he can play it on the PS4 in like 2 months or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and I
Which
think
I
this is the
believe-
only game I can say this about where reading the credits was the ultimate insult of this game. Because when I found out that half the people who made this game were fucking Capcom, I was like, oh no, fuck you. Fuck you.
Which I will say to you, Rick, playing DMC on the DMC coming to PS4, is that not the definition of polishing a turd?
I could see that. I just thought I think it's funny that, like, whether or not people like the game, I think it's funny that they're re-releasing that. Like,
Yeah.
Because whether or not the game is good or the character design, people almost universally hated that character design. I hate that character design. But and it didn't sell that well, and it's because of bad publicity. It wasn't like that it got ignored like Tomb Raider or like Sleeping Dogs, where like it could benefit from a less competition. That one's not gonna like sell better by lumping it with like the fourth one, which, as far as I know, the fourth one didn't do that well. If they put it with like 3 or something, then maybe. But it's just
And the digital version
And
was
it's even
broken.
funny. It's even funnier saying, look, you don't like that character, we know, but we're hoping enough times pass that you'll forget what we did.
Yeah.
Here's Devil May Cry 4, where we show you that character. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm thinking of getting the fourth one, because I played parts of it, hadn't played all of it. I'm so tempted to get the fourth one on PS4.
I do want that game. But isn't it come in a pack? You have to get both of them, unfortunately.
I will snap my disc in half and trade half in.
I'm trying to remember because I'd have to look at the press email because I was trying. I did know that because I read it and it did say, but I don't remember now.
I hope
Capcom's
they.
just going to use to say, look, see, DMC sells. It's like, no, DMC4 sells.
Or hopefully they do what they did with Monopoly and a few other things like God of War and stuff like that, and they'll put it on the store, split in half, so I can just buy the good half.
Like Symphonia was like that, I believe.
Yeah, assuming it works.
Which is funny because no one's gonna buy Symphonia 2.
No, assuming it works, because like I said, DMC Digital, which is the version I have, because it was like free or whatever on PS3 a while back, it's broken. Like, I tried to play it, I didn't get very far, and it just started crashing left and right to the point that I just quit and I never played it again. Because I'm like, okay, I already don't like the character, I don't like the voice, I don't like what you've done with the character, not to mention the look. And now the game's crashing, no, I'm done with this game.
Yeah, I did try to give that a try at one point, and I was like, I don't like you said, I don't like the character design. I don't like the character. I don't like the voice. I don't like taking the piss out the old character. I don't like the gameplay. Almost none of this works. But I'm like, there might be someone out there that does like it though. I was just like, but I believe we're on best character of the year.
Yes.
I went with Link.
Da-na-na.
I went with Link because Hyrule Warriors. He's been in fucking Smash Brothers. He's been obviously. He's been in Mario Kart. He's fucking appeared on loads of stuff. Like this year, you couldn't fucking swing a cat round without hitting something of Link's. Trust me, Pew's tried. It's like pretty much everywhere you go this year, you've been bombarded with something to do with Link. Now, if this had been a bad character, like one someone didn't give a shit about, fair enough, that would have been really annoying. Like, no offense, Pew, but if this had been like the villager from Animal Crossing, because not too many people care about the villager. I don't mean that in a bad way, Pew, because some people do, but the people that love it, and the people that don't give a shit. Whereas with Link, even people who don't give a shit about Link turned around and said some stuff like, "Oh, Hyrule looks pretty fun. Oh, Smash Brothers looks pretty cool." You know what I mean? It's like, because it's Link, it's like he had a really great year.
Link even had his own game this year. He had Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, so he's had 3 games on 2 systems. He's had a great year this year.
Yes. Luckily, I will say, I think Wind Waker was the year before, because that was the only disappointing part.
Yeah.
But he's had great years, and a figure come out, and like he's just been on top of the world.
And I think didn't the figure of Link come out this year with the Samus?
It might have, and I know
it was this year, but I don't know.
Was it last year?
And I believe your books came out this year too.
Yeah, my Hyrule Monopoly came out.
Hyrulepedia or something, but yeah.
Historia, maybe. Yeah, and then he had a Monopoly game come out this year. It's like, wow.
Yeah, and it's like, he's had a great year, and I feel, and I don't know if Rick would agree, I feel Nintendo has missed a beat.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How did they not just name this the Year of Link, like they did with the Year of Luigi? Because if they named this Year of Link, it would have seemed, all of this would have seemed like you'd planned this whole Year of Link out to the point where it's like, bravo, you've done a great job. Now it seems like you've done a great job accidentally, almost.
That's probably why they didn't name it the Year of Link, because they didn't plan for all this. It just kind of happened, and they were like, well, we can't name it after the fact. That would just seem stupid.
Yeah, but I feel it hard to believe that, because Link to the Past, the Amiibos, Smash Brothers, and fucking what was the other one? One of the other ones, Hyrule, definitely all took over a year to make, so they all knew they were coming out in 1 year.
True.
They're stupid not to have just called this the Year of Link. You've even brought some of his more virtual console stuff to the Wii U. Year of Link.
Not to mention, at the end of last year, they also had the announcement of Majora's Mask Remastered.
Yep. Like I said, it seems like they've missed the beat, because when they named it the Year of Luigi, even if you didn't like Luigi, it became kind of funny to see him and everything. They should have done that with Link. I feel they missed the beat. However, I do feel he had a great year. But over to Rick.
All right, so my favorite character of the year, I don't remember if I put this last year, I might have, but from Borderlands the pre-sequel, Mr. Torg, because I love him. He's so funny. And,
I will say, I don't think we did Character of the Year last year.
Oh, okay, maybe we didn't, but
because last year it was all genres, and this year we decided to get rid of that.
I thought we might have had. I don't remember. Like, I thought it might have been one of the wild card ones we had, but
good point.
I like Tony's dialogue. He says like, no one cares about explosions. They only want lasers.
Yeah.
Because they had him a little bit in number 2, like he was the voice of I think the vending machines. I don't remember if he had his own DLC, and that's really where he became a character. And he's really funny. And I know some people hate him, but my wife and I love him, and we giggle when he says stuff. And a lot of times in the Borderlands games, I get annoyed because sometimes they like take a character and like, oh, you remember this character? We're gonna put them in here for no reason. But
Yeah.
like Torg, like they put him there, and I'm like, I'm gonna allow this because I just love him, and he says funny stuff. And like the time he tries to hit on Janie Springs, and she's like, I'm not really into guys, and he's like, friend zoned, and just like, and then later when
hilarious.
you turn that one in, and he's like, I was in a dark place, and it's like,
I also
'cause
love
he's
the
like,
fact.
sorry.
I also love the fact, like a few missions after that, she totally hit on my Athena.
Yeah,
She talked about how beautiful you are and
She hits
stuff. I'm
on
like, that's
Athena,
wonderful.
which is specifically she hits on Athena. She actually at one point says something to if you're Nisha, and Nisha's like, yeah, no, like she actually shoots her down, so she will actually hit on Athena.
Nice. And I will also say to Pew.
She's like, by the way, don't think I'm trying to come onto you. And Nisha's like, well, that's good because I'm not into chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say to Pew as well, when Pew mentioned about his line of, people don't care about explosions, they just want lasers. I imagine Disney had that exact conversation when Michael Bay pitched his Star Wars Episode 7.
Nice. Yeah, Torg is the good version of Michael Bay. Like, I picture there was a person that loved explosions, and he was split into two for some freak accident. And the evil twin is Michael Bay, and the good one is Mr. Torg. By the way, his first name is Mr. Torg, just so you know.
Nice.
Because that was in Borderlands 2, the Tiny Tina, awesome DLC. But I thought like it was that's his name. His first name is Mr. Torg. But yeah, he's just so funny and it's voiced by the guy that does Hercule, Mr. Satan. So like he can do that like fake Macho Man voice, and it was like I love him. He's always so funny.
I love his Mr. Satan turned up a couple notches.
Yeah. I felt it was like they went to him and they're like, okay, you remember Mr. Satan? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, picture he's pretending he's Macho Man. And they're like, okay. And they're just like, go.
And I will say, that's something else, like you mentioned with Borderlands, and that's a game that did exactly what we were just talking about a few moments ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can play as Claptrap. It takes the piss out if you choose him and stuff.
Yes.
It has fun with the different character types. It has fun, the little bits of dialogue and stuff in there. It's so the opposite to the regular first-person shooter that's all greys and browns and ultra-realistic. And I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my favorite character of the year.
Mr. Torg. He is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Over to Pew for her favorite.
My favorite is
Or
my
the one
favorite.
you think best, I should say.
My favorite is the dog from what was it called?
Valiant
Valiant
Hearts.
Hearts. Yeah, because that dog invokes so much emotion. Like I think you said, Mo, when he was about to get cut by some kind of vehicle or something, he's about to get run over.
Yeah,
when he was cut in the barbed wire.
Yeah, when they're trapped in that fence and the car starts to come down.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, my dog. Yeah, I don't normally say stuff like that with games, but that time as it was coming down, I was like, oh my god, my dog! No! And then when I go to say, I'm like, you saved my dog. Way to go, inevitable black soldier.
Yeah.
I would just say the first part of the sentence had me very leery. She's like, yeah, the dog from... And I'm like, I swear to God, she says duck hunt.
Oh, no.
This shit's over.
Oh my god, that'd be the biggest troll ever.
Yeah, that would be...
I did
like,
that
Mole put you up to that, didn't he?
I will say I do like that dog, and I love his design in Smash Brothers, but I also understand equally why people fucking hate him. He was the original troll.
He is.
I want to see a duck hunt made now that replaces him with troll face. Just...
You wouldn't even notice a
You
difference.
missed, bro.
It'd be the same exact. People wouldn't even notice a difference.
Nice.
But like, I like to think that it's like a German dog, and you're on the opposite side. But he doesn't care that he's from like another side because he's a dog. So like, it doesn't matter.
I will point out you're not on the opposite side.
Well, I mean, you were fighting on the opposite. You were fighting against the Germans, and then the German dog actually helps you.
I was going to say, because when you got up to that point, you'd swapped between blonde German and black American, and that was awesome. I like the fact both sides are treated fairly It's not like
Yeah.
other games where it's like,
Just like one side is
where
and
like
the other side is
Hitler
evil.
sat there stroking a cat, going wah wah, and smoking up in a chair or grew up on a throne of lava. Or something.
That would actually be kind of cool. Can we do that in a World War II game now? I know that the Valiant War was World War I, but I think it'd be funny if that was like the new Hitler. He doesn't even get the mustache. He doesn't get in a mech suit like Doom. He just, or a Wolfenstein. It's just sitting on a throne of lava with a cat going, whoa.
Yes, we could totally need
There
to
you
do
go.
that. But hopefully, maybe that's what he's like in that upcoming game where he controls the hordes of the undead.
Sniper Elite something, right? Sniper Elite
Yeah,
Super
Sniper
Zombie. I don't. Sniper Elite 3
Trilogy or
Zombie.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally want that game. It sounds so unbelievably stupid and fun.
But yeah, I love that dog. So he gets my best. He gets my best character of the year from Invoking Emotion from me.
Yeah, when you're going through some of the stuff with him was rather rough.
Ha! Rough, as in the sound that a dog makes. Ha ha ha.
Now a dog says bark. What?
And I don't say rough.
It can. Yeah, it does. I was kidding. That was the pun.
Okay.
Marcus, what was your character of the year?
Like I said, I agreed with you. I went with Link. Because he's had
Same
all the
reasons?
characters, he's had the best year, and he is one of my favorite characters of all time, so yeah.
Fair enough. Yep.
Sorry.
I will say I'd given it to Link. I think he's had a great year. I will also go on record as saying I'm not an over Link fan, if that makes sense. Like I like some
That's
of the
for
Legend of
sure.
Zelda games, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked Wind Waker back when it wasn't for kids. Hi Wii U version. But no, I also liked like Ocarina of Time. I liked some of the like original 2D ones and stuff. But I'm not like, oh my god, Legend of Zelda, greatest game ever. But I still appreciate the fact he's had a great year. In case people see we did a Nintendo thing at the beginning, and now Link's getting 2 characters a year. This isn't that. Also, fuck Zelda for pushing me off a cliff.
You know, to be fair, I'm looking at my Zelda amiibo. She is holding her arm out. Maybe she's like pushing somebody. I don't know.
And that's funny. Did you notice the Link one looks like he's pissing himself, almost like he's been pushed off a cliff?
I'm pretty sure it's a different Zelda, but I'm kind of worried now.
They're
Oh no,
all
I
the
think
same
actually she's
follow the
she's
timeline.
mimicking Iron Man. That's what it is. They're both standing in the same position.
Nice. But no, that was our last one for today. Next week we have surprise DLC and weapon of the year. So stay tuned for that goodie.
Yay!
Yep. Please leave a comment below if I don't know, you happen to have agreed with us. If you disagreed with us, fuck off. No, I'm kidding. If you disagreed with us, please leave your comment below. And if you also do want to see Pewcraft, leave a message below.
Yes.
That needs to happen. Hashtag Pewcraft. Make it happen, people. I was your host, Chris, aka The Mole. See ya.